Oh look guys, it's Kangaroo Jack, our favourite kangaroo. Now before we watch it, you wallabies, let's check the rating on here, on this DVD cover. Oh, son of a bitch.
You people are full of shit.
Jolly good. Oh, God. Oh, God. Hello, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Let's welcome to another My Thoughts on. Today I'll be talking about. I can't say it. I really can't say the name, even though I know the name, but I just don't want to say it. Kangaroo Jack, a 2003 family movie question. Okay. Little history. Jerry Bruckhaimer saw the idea of Snow Dogs. I don't know if he watched it or not, but he saw what that film's about, and he decided to do the same thing with this movie. I guess replace the talking wolves with a talking kangaroo. Yeah. This film, for some reason, was a big hit at the box office. Why? I actually have no idea. It even led to an animated sequel called Kangaroo Jack Good Day USA, which kind of looks better than the actual movie it's a sequel to, I guess. Ugh, I have no idea, but I haven't seen it. I might watch it, but I don't know. Anyways, I'm just here to talk about Kangaroo Jack. DJ kind of suggested it to me after I found it in a charity shop. I didn't buy it. Fuck no, I wouldn't buy this piece of shit. Although, funnily enough, I remember seeing this film on DVD at my local Tesco's every time I went there. And this was a while ago, I think, like a really, really long time ago. I didn't buy it. Every time I look through the DVDs, it's always there. Kangaroo Jack's always staring at me. And I am very, very disturbed. And I feel very uncomfortable talking about it. Film was critically despised by critics, and most people anyway. I've seen bits of it. I've only seen Nostalgia Critic's review of it, and okay, all right. Let's just talk about it because this is going to be an interesting one. Two guys, Charlie, played by Jerry O'Connell, and his best friend Lewis, played by Anthony Anderson. They're both best friends. They work for a mobster named Sal, played by Christopher Walken, and they have to deliver money to this Australian killer named Mr. Smith, played by Martin Kuzokas. I don't fucking know. So they go to Australia and they have to try and give the money to him, and then they run over a kangaroo and they take his jacket, or Lewis's jacket, with the money in it. And they have to get it back. And then Frankie, played by Michael Shannon, pre-Man of Steel Michael Shannon, and all the big hits that he's in, hunts them down to get try to get the money back anyway. And yeah, that's it. That's it. That's all. It's called Kangaroo Jack, not, you know, Heist Down Under or something. Okay. The problem with the movie is that it doesn't feel like a family movie at all. I know it's PG, but I think the PG rating is bullshit. Comparing that to, let's say, Watership Down or Help I'm a Fish, they're rated U. I think they should have been a PG, but the PG for those two would make sense. This, 12. Fucking 12. Not only does the film have lots of explicit language that you wouldn't normally see in a PG. I mean, yeah, but they do swear a little bit quite often. There's guns, knives, there's threats, mob bosses. How the fuck is this family friendly? Like, seriously, this isn't in one bit family friendly. It's weirdly misleading, like the SpongeBob movie, the second one, where you think it's like in the real world, but most of it's just in Bikini Bottom. However, I can understand why people would get angry about that, but I'm okay with it. How the fuck did this become a hit? Did the kids really like all the arguing and the threats and the poop jokes and the swearing? I don't get it. I really don't. And that's very common with bad movies that become hits. You watch them and you think, how did this become a hit? This doesn't make any sense at all. This movie is very, very boring. Like, I couldn't give a shit about what was going on. It's also unfunny. I did not once crack a smile. I didn't chuckle. There wasn't anything that made me laugh. It was all very painful and very loud. It's a loud, obnoxious, dumb as shit movie, and dramatically as well. Couldn't give a shit either. It just felt like a piss poor attempt at making a Stop the Pigeon movie, except remove the pigeon with a kangaroo. This film would have worked better if it was a 12A, B, if you removed the kangaroo and just had everything else going on, and then it would have been fine, and C, if it was rated... No, 12A or 15, if you remove the kangaroo and if it was funnier. This film would have been perfect. But the fact it's called Kangaroo Jack, and they named after Jackie Legs, who I should know who that is, but I actually don't. This film has not a lot to do with the kangaroo, because he's barely in it. I mean, yeah, it's about them looking for the kangaroo to get the money back, but he's barely in it. Like, he's probably in it for like maybe 9 minutes, and the film's like, what, an hour and 29 minutes? Oh, and by the way, there's lots of dirty innuendos that are not funny at all, and it makes the film very inappropriately uncomfortable as well. Which ties into, once again, being a very unfunny movie. Like, genuinely unfunny movie. Which I wish it was, but it just isn't. It's poorly directed too. There are so many scenes that just felt unnecessary, and it could have been cut out easily. And it didn't feel earned. It didn't feel unique or new. It felt weird, and it just felt boring. This is a very, very boring movie. I couldn't give one single shit about what was going on. You know what's going to happen anyway, so why the fuck should anyone bother? Again, if it was a 12A movie, it wouldn't change a thing, but it would have made more sense. To be quite frank. This film offers nothing of value that you would remember. The comedy is stupidly unfunny, and just it relies on weak jokes and very obnoxious gross out humour, or just more like poop humour. There's a scene with camels that fart. You get it, because fart, it's funny. It's poorly written, it's predictable, it's clunky, inconsistent, and doesn't feel like a family movie. It feels more like a piss-poor adult crime drama movie. If it was a higher age rating, if it was betterly written, if it was funnier, maybe. And if you remove the kangaroo, maybe. But from what we have, it's poor and it's stupid, and it will not leave any remarks on anyone ever. End of story. Visuals. Okay, let's acknowledge that bloody elephant in the room. Kangaroo Jack looks awful. Oh, I don't mean the film. I mean the kangaroo himself. He just looks poor in CG. He looks unbelievably poor. I get it, it's early 2000s CG and, it's not going to look amazing, but wow, it looks horrible. It looks really, 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 really bad. The film's making me that tired talking about it. He looks very fake. It doesn't look like he's there. It's not very good. It's absolute shit. Absolute shit. The other animals who are there are basically just who you would expect to see, just actual animals. Also, found footage is obvious too. So the CG does not hold up one bit, and he just looks as fake. He looks almost as fake as Scooby-Doo. For the live-action Scooby-Doo movie. But to that movie's credit, Scooby-Doo looks weird, and he looks almost like the cartoon in a way. So it kind of makes a little bit of sense. But here, no. I seriously cannot believe that the bloody kangaroo is there, and he isn't. He just looks fake as fuck. Enough said. The only good thing I can say about the movie is that Australia looks very, very pretty. And that's it. That is literally it. There is nothing else I can say about that other than that Australia does look really nice. And that's it. Yeah. Everything else about the movie in terms of how it looks is shit, but the movie has a nice look in Australia, and that's about it. Yeah. So about it. Characters and acting, all the characters, fucking hell, they're all stupid, they're all dumb, they're all stereotypically annoying. The two main characters, especially, they're just, you got one who's a goofball, the other one who's a quote-unquote ladies' man, but he fails. You got the love interest played by Estella Warren, who's just in it because she's a woman and they need a love interest, or one of them anyways. Sal Maggio, or however you pronounce his name, is the crime mob boss character who's not in it for long. Frankie's the main villain who hunts them down. Blue, played by the late Bill Hunter, who you'll know as the dentist from Finding Nemo and such and such. Oh god, no. Mr. Smith as well. They're just all boringly unmemorable and dumb. Like really, 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 really dumb. The acting, I don't know. It just feels like these people try either too hard or they don't try hard enough. Christopher Walken, even he couldn't do as much as he usually does. He's not even in the film for long, and even when he is, he's just, I can barely hear him, and it's weird. Jerry O'Connell's a very, very, just, I don't know, he plays it a little bit too loudly, but Anthony Anderson is very annoying. He's an actor he's alright, he's alright, he's just okay, but yeah, that's about it, really, Oh, Jesus Christ, I keep yawning, but this film fucking bored me. Stella Warren's bland and not especially interesting. Martin Kazokaz, boring. Michael Shannon's performance is too serious and too bland. He would get better eventually thanks to films like Shape of Water, Knives Out, and other films that he's been in that I still need to see. The characters are just like any other character you'd see in a adult comedy. And the fact that this film is not for kids, and for some reason it's a PG, it doesn't help at all. But it's very unremarkable. They're very unfunny, very generic, very boring, and yeah, and the acting doesn't help, especially with the big talent that's on there. They're very messy and very boringly bland and forgettable. Also, the music by Trevor Rabin is all right. Also, just like the look of Australia, it looks perfectly fine. It sounds perfectly fine. Try to get my words together here. It looks fine. It's fine. It's nice, and it does capture the atmosphere of Australia very well. The fact that this movie and its visuals, the visuals and the music are the only things that I really like about it. Oh dear. You know that we're in trouble. Well, they are, but not we. Yep. I agree with most people when I say that this movie is bad. I don't mean like so bad it's good, I mean like properly bad. Couldn't get into it, could not enjoy it for what I can. This movie is... oh, it's horrible. It's really, really horrible. Kangaroo Jack is one of the most misleading films I've ever seen. You think it's a family comedy when really it's a very messy, poorly delivered mob crime boss story with a kangaroo just thrown in there because of fucking snow dogs. Thank you, Bruckhaimer. It's not funny, it's not interesting, it's boring, it's visually dated, the characters are dumb, loud, annoying, generic. Even the actors try too hard or they don't try hard enough. Again, the look of Australia is very nice and the music is good, but that's all you're going to get from me. I don't know what else this director has done. I think what's his name? Was it David McNally? And apparently he's from the UK. I see. And apparently he was born in England and grew up in Canada. Huh, well that explains nothing actually. This explains actually nothing. I don't know. This film gets a 1 out of 10. Despite only 2 things I like about it, it just gets a 1. This movie's bad. Don't watch it. Don't even bring your family into it. PG my ass. Fuck the BBFC. Watership Down, fucking Help 'em a Fish, Play Dogs, When the Wind Blows. I get it. The BBFC rating is very misleading, but this is like 100% misleading for families. I mean, kids could watch Help 'em a Fish, but I think the parents might have to explain to them what's going on. I think Watership Down should have been a 12 per se, but PG would be better. When the Wind Blows, I think the PG's warranted a little bit, but this 12 or 15, and they were planning to make this a 15, which would have been actually better, but fucking kangaroos. There you go. Kangaroo Jack. Kanga shit. This movie's a piece of shit. So next up, I'm going to be talking about Valiant, that animated film from the mid-2000s. If you don't remember that, well, I can't exactly blame you. It's not very memorable, but it stars Ewan McGregor, Jim Broadbent, Hugh Laurie, John Cleese, Tim Curry. That's one I'm hopefully going to enjoy a little bit more, despite the fact I've not seen it in years. Look forward to that, and if you had the unfortunate doubt of watching Kangaroo Jack, what do you think about it? Is it good, bad, decent? Do you want to see it? Let me know below. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. And until next time, I'm going to go hunt myself some kangaroos. Especially the one that wears a red jacket and sings that rap song that I can't remember the name of. However, the only other thing I can give the film credit for is that at least it got me into Men at Work, especially with Down Under, which doesn't make the film better, but at least I have appreciation for that song. So, thanks, Kangaroo Jack, you little bastard.